Hey man,
Hello.
how are we doing?
Good, and you?
Good, thanks for asking. Would you mind sending me the link to your VOD?
Yeah. Wait a minute.
Super,
I uploaded it on YouTube.
super, perfect. All right, first, I always just like to start off with just take a look at your OPGG.
Yeah.
Let's move this guy over here.
I played a lot of Champion.
We got 33 unique isn't terrible, but it's definitely not what we're looking for.
Yeah, I was just having fun this season.
Yeah, nothing wrong with that, right? I mean, ultimately, I guess Mono, that's a good segue into like you're kind of telling me like the goal is just to improve as a player, but do we have like
Yeah.
a specific rank goal or something?
I mean, my peak rank, I think it's gold 2,
So it's
but
kind
it
of
was when I was playing ADC.
okay,
Now I'm trying to get better at top lane.
definitely. So try to probably get back to our peak rank in a new
Yeah.
role, sort of is the idea. Okay, and are we kind of locked in on Jax is who we want to be learning mostly, or
Yeah,
Jax
I
Aatrox,
was
or
playing Aatrox, but on Aatrox I'm actually not bad. But on Jax, a lot of the time I'm just not able to carry my team.
definitely, definitely.
Yeah.
So first off, so if we're I like that we're locked in on top lane, but then ideally I would say like we want to get 1 to 2 champions that at most that we're really focusing on just to narrow things down to eliminate as many variables as we can. Do you feel pretty good on saying like, okay, Jax and Aatrox are the 2 champions? I'll kind
Yeah.
of okay, super. So definitely, I think just keep running Jax games as much as possible. If your goal is to learn Jax, probably try to do 2 Jax games to 1 Aatrox games, like a 2-to-1 ratio. That will
Yeah.
help keep your Aatrox like clean, and then but we're pretty much sort of focusing on Jax.
Yeah.
But yeah, so definitely like it's something that's super important. I think it seems like you might understand this, but like champion mastery is super important. So it's just about getting a lot of reps in on our champions and then being consistent with playing those champions. You know, it's like 12 games played on 33% win rate obviously looks bad and feels bad,
Yeah,
but
it's actually bad.
yeah, but it's like if we're trying to learn Jax, it's totally reasonable, and it's like we have to look at the goal of it,
Yeah.
right? Where it's like
But
we're trying to learn and improve.
yeah, but
Winning will come with that, you know.
most of the time I'm able to play the laning phase, but it's afterward. Like I'm not able to carry the game. I feel like I'm lost and
Yeah, for sure. So why don't we just jump into it then and take a look at what we're seeing here?
this game I played the laning phase good and I just wanted to see if I was able to do something better.
So let's just see this matchup first. So Riven, okay. Um, Against Riven, I'm not sure what your runes are. Like we could look real quick, but against Riven,
Um
bone plating is quite nice for playing into Riven. I'm not sure if you have it. It just makes it because all of Riven's she has no way of getting bone plating off you without like coming to
think I
you.
was I was playing Second Wine.
Yeah, it's okay too. But into Riven matchups in the future, I would take bone plating because it just negates a lot of her early
Yeah,
damage.
I see.
Then also, whenever we can, since Jax is so strong on level 1 with his E, especially, um, and with your passive and your E are the main things that make you very, very strong on level 1. Riven obviously
Um,
also has a great level 1 because of her passive and the fact that her Q auto resets.
yeah.
But just in general, it's like you're so strong in the early levels. If we can be sitting in this bush instead,
Mhm.
then we can threaten like out on the laner much easier. You can force them off the wave into certain matchups if they respect you enough. You can even force them out of the EXP range, and you can get a lot of value that way. But that's
Yeah.
just something to think about in level 1. Nice. I like this. Just taking with grasp,
Yeah.
especially when we have D shield like this. Maximizing short trades as much as possible is the name of the game here, right?
She already Half-Life.
Exactly, right? I mean, she took longsword 2 pots, which is
Yeah.
insanely greedy on her end. So I'd say you see her using Q like this. I think if we could probably walk up even
Yeah.
sooner. Like this is a little bit of a missed window,
I
right?
was trying to space her Qs.
Q3, yeah. That's fair, but as soon as we have E up and we just saw her use her Qs, just get up on her shit, you know?
I'm not gonna lie, I think I just didn't know that she would start a longsword.
That's fair. But even outside of what she starts, right? We just saw her use her ability. It's like level 1 Q CDs, probably like, I'm not positive, 8 to like 11 seconds.
Yeah.
So it's just like, this is a window of opportunity we have now where we're already up in HP advantage. We just saw her use her main threat to clear the wave in front of you. As soon as E's back up, we should just walk onto her. Either like look to like auto then E, or just start channeling your E, stun, auto, walk back.
Yeah. I think one of my problem on Jax is that I don't know my like my
Your limits,
yeah.
totally. And so another thing here, let's take a look a little bit further back. Since she does use her abilities on the wave, she's getting pushed, you know? So it's like, do we know the level up timers in solo lanes? Like what creeps you level up on?
It's one lane and not a creep.
Yep, so level 2 is wave 2. Oh, that's
Yeah.
terrible. First melee.
Unless you have like an assist or a kill.
Yeah, or even if you have a solo word kill, then you'll get it on the first wave. Do you know level 3? Whoa.
No.
Okay, so that's wave 3,
Right.
the second melee.
Okay.
So those are
That's
very, very like these are key things to know for top lane because
yeah. I know the first one, but I don't know
yeah, totally.
the
And I just like think it's just one more, right? So first wave is, I mean, level
yeah.
2 is second wave first melee. Level 3
Yeah.
is third wave third melee or second melee.
Yeah.
But knowing that just allows you, like, especially in a matchup like this, if you hit level 2 first, you can just Q stun her and then get a really nice trade again. Or if you hit level 3 first, like obviously having that extra ability makes you way more potent. So something just trying to get pushback here in this situation is good. So what I would do here is probably look like when she's looking to walk back up to the wave to auto it, we just want to be positioned next to whatever creep she's likely to auto, which is likely whatever creep is lowest health. And if she looks to like walk up here and auto it, we can just auto start channeling E.
Yeah,
You know,
I think I'm playing too passive.
yeah, Jax's level 1 is insanely good. There's very few champions that are better than you in level 1. Again, because like your E allows you to not only block all their auto damage, which is most of the damage in the early levels, but also it allows you to fight into minion waves and get rewarded for it. Because you're blocking minion damage too.
And when you're pressing your E, you're getting back all the auto attack that you receive.
Yeah, exactly. So like the more damage you dodge with your E, the
Yeah.
more damage your E does.
Yeah.
So it's like what we want to do is like every time we have E up, especially when we know she doesn't have her cooldowns, we just want to walk up, auto her, try to get minion aggro. And then if we can channel E, she can't really come back into it. It's very difficult for them to play around. Like here, it's like if we're just positioned here, autoing this creep, we don't allow her to auto this one, right? Especially if we know like this is giving her level 2. That's important thing to be getting.
Yeah. Now I need respect.
Yeah. You know, she has lane control. So as Jax in this situation. Nice, beautiful. Okay, we hold the wave. That's exactly what I was looking to see. We can get really creative with holding waves just with our E as well again, right? So we can just dodge all the minion damage. And they can't really come and threaten to push us off because we can just stun them. So whenever you're in this, I'm not sure if you're doing this, but whenever you're in this situation where they have a stacked wave that they're trying to crash it, we just need to keep an eye on where our wave is. Because that's telling us how much time we need to hold the wave for, like what's actually possible.
I did a little step forward just to
Yep.
get a
Exactly. It's very beautiful wave management here. So now we're in a really safe position because we're in this safe spot, like where all we have to do to be safe, to be in tower range, just to walk back a little bit. But she's very overextended, you know. Talon, or I don't actually know where he is. I can't see him right now. He must be queuing something.
Yeah, I don't know where,
I think
is
I
it?
think he's queuing the
Yeah,
Raptors,
because
right?
we have vision. I think.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But like, if she maintains this and your jungler's a little bit faster on their clear, like she's overextended to be ganked as well. Jax also has phenomenal gank setup. So like just knowing this is a good lane position, there you go. I think a little nitpicky here. First off, like I'm glad we're reacting to her engaging with her E, and then we're following up here. I think we just back up as soon as this like
Yeah,
auto stun. We just start backing up.
I thought my auto would go faster. I think.
Yeah, no
I just
worries. It's still not bad for us, right? Because ultimately, like our sustain is
yeah.
better, right? We're not too worried
And
about it.
she's in a bad position.
Yep. So the goal is just like how can we keep her from crashing this wave? That's what we want to be thinking about. So we want to be getting as much damage down onto the wave as we can.
And I'm playing Cookie, so I think getting trade is not that bad.
Yeah, and you have D wind, you have grass. I mean, you have D shield, you have grass. Like you said, you have second wind. Like your sustain is just better than hers, right? We win all short trades. The thing is, like giving her a crash allows her to get out of lane here. So the goal in this situation is to be just getting as much DPS down on the wave. Where's my fucking what the hell? Getting much DPS down on the wave so we can just avoid her getting this crash in, because that's her ticket to get out of here. Because again, like the longer we keep her here, the more likely it is somebody's going to come kill her.
Yeah.
So like even here, it might feel a little sketchy, but we could just start E and then walk up. Right. And that'll just pull, because like our wave's pretty close, that'll just pull the wave. And you know, worst case scenario, she tries to fight you off, you stun her and you walk back and let it crash. At least we try, right?
And I think I was 1 CS from level 3.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. Yeah, she just resets. Okay, so what are you thinking here with the wave? So we're under the impression, right? Like Riven probably just reset.
Yeah, she reset.
So what are you thinking here as your play?
Right now I think I just slow push and try to crash, and after I can back.
Definitely. And why do we want to slow push?
Uh, I don't really know. I think it's just because she's backing. So if I can't freeze because she crashed it, so it's gonna like naturally slow push.
Yeah, right. So we have two options when we know they backed, right? We can either try to shove as quickly as possible to deny the wave under her tower, or we slow push, and that gives us, for two reasons we want to slow push. So if your opponent's ever out of lane and we slow push, that gives the enemy team's minions as much time as possible to kill your minions. Meaning she's just gonna lose golden experience. Two, we know that like since the wave did crash, eventually it will bounce back out. So slow pushing allows us to stack our waves. If we stack our waves, stacking our waves gives us an opportunity to get a cleaner reset off, because it's harder for her to fight you in a big crash, like a big stacked wave. And also a big stacked wave under tower gives you as much time as possible to come back into lane.
Yeah.
And then ideally when we're resetting, what sort of wave do we want to be resetting on?
Crash.
Or rather like specifically the waves. Like what type of wave?
I'm not sure what you...
Okay, so I'm definitely not posing the question correctly, but so ideally, like when we crash a wave, we want to be crashing on the second wave in a sequence, meaning that the third wave is the cannon wave. Because if we're resetting on a cannon wave, that'll give us the most time possible to get back to lane. Because a cannon has that passive where it takes more tower shots, and then also has more HP, it takes longer for her to push it.
Okay, I see.
And so something important right now in this situation too, what's unfortunate here is we have the stacked wave, meaning it will kill her creeps, so moving is a little awkward.
Yeah, that's why I don't move, I think, because I I'm just gonna lose too many creeps.
Yeah. So what you have to do in that situation then is make sure you're pinging the Yi. Like in some way or another, be like danger pinging your wave, or danger pinging the roam, or just like pinging the Yi off. And one way or another, you have to like communicate that and take control. Two, if we see Riven's moving and we have this, your job is to get this pushed as soon as possible.
Fast pushing.
Yep. So either it's like you're shoving to either move and then help, or you're shoving to just take the, like, if you know it's doomed one way or another, you shove and you reset right away to give yourself as much tempo as possible.
Yeah.
So, but say that Yi's not here. Say Yi's on bot scuttle and it was just dark over here. What's important in this situation is now we're moving into territory where we're the one that's exposed. So like as this wave is crashing, or like as these waves are meeting right here, it's just probably wise to go and get a ward down here in this bush.
Okay.
Just so we're safe to actually get this push out.
Yeah.
Whoops. And I think here too, right? Like I was just saying, so this was just a normal wave. The second wave coming in is a normal wave as well, meaning that we know this third wave that's spawning here is a cannon wave.
Mm-hmm.
So what we want to do now that we have the stacked wave, and knowing that we're trying to reset, we want to push this wave as quickly as possible. Because then that allows us to crash the stack, and then also gives us as much time as possible to get back to lane. Meaning we could walk back to lane without wasting TP. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yep, so we see here, just like what we want to do here is just walk up, ideally on Jax. We're catching minion aggro before they can aggro our minions. So like, right, we want to be walking up here now, because then we can empower our E with the minion damage, right?
I'm just eating the all wave.
Exactly. We just want to shove as quickly as possible. And we feel decently safe to E in this position. One, because our lane positions were pretty safe. And even if Riven does come to try and fight us after we E, she's fighting into a stacked wave.
The Karim is there.
Yeah.
I think I knew I could do nothing.
We just really hesitate, right?
Yeah.
So we just waste a lot of time here. And now it's like, okay, now we have to kill a canyon wave as well. Now we're also under threat from the Riven and the Hecarim just walking out.
I knew the Karim was coming, but I was like
you need to get this wave out because we need to reset, and we don't want to get this frozen on us. You're prepared for them to come, but ultimately you see how now awkward our wave is, because we're not prepared to start crashing right away.
Yeah.
If we were prepared to crash right here, yeah, right. And even then, like, say, okay, whatever, we didn't play this part correctly. If we're just like, I'm way too late to this play here, what I need to do is play for my tempo, get this crashed before this wave gets here. Then you still have that opportunity, but we just hesitate trying to go to this play that we actually can't get to.
It's insane how the wave is coming quickly. Like,
yeah, exactly. Like you were on that timer, and then like this hesitation where we don't really do anything for this like 30 seconds because we're just you're not entirely sure what needs to be done, so it just bites us in the ass.
Yeah, because it's solo queue. Sometimes you want to be like, oh, I want to help my teammate, but
yeah, ultimately it's like Jax is a champion whose identity is he's got a great level 1. He's got a decent level 2, but he definitely needs to be getting. He needs a high economy. He needs high experience. He needs to be getting to Trinity Force. Like that's your main spike on Jax. Your main power spike is like once we hit level 9 with Trinity, we're a completely different champion than we have been the rest of the game.
All right.
And then we continue to scale very nicely with items in the side lane, just because our E gives us so much potency in 1v1s. Our ult and our W give us really nice mix damage and DPS. Our Q allows us to get a lot done. Our passive enables us incredibly in side lanes.
W mixed with Trinity 4 is really good.
Exactly, right? It's like he scales very nicely. So it's like we don't really want to be going to these chaotic fights in the early game if we can avoid it. Like obviously if it's a fight that we can go, like say this happened a little bit further up and we could go to it, or Hecarim was lower HP and we could get a kill. Obviously, we want to be can't think of the right word, but like we want to be adaptable to situations. We're not going to always just say no to our jungle plays, but we do need to keep in mind like our early game is so important for developing a clean foundation for us to scale into the rest of the game. So if we're going to these kind of like low percentage coin flippy plays, you know, that will make things more difficult. Yeah. So like that's why here it's like playing for like getting this crashed and resetting just so we can guarantee good lane position coming back out into us. Guarantee that we don't have to waste TP to walk back to lane. I mean, waste TP to get back to lane, and that we can just go and spend our gold. It's like that's really valuable for us in the early game.
Yeah, that's now that I see it, it's just like, damn, that's bad.
Yeah, right. And top lane especially is a role that is so dictated by how, like, your fundamentals especially, and wave management is the core of top lane fundamentals. Because so much is dictated by where the wave is positioned, and what you can do on the map is dictated by the wave, right? Like we identified earlier, I really like that we slow push here. Like, this is definitely ideal. I like that we're stacking this wave that comes in. This is really nice. If we were just identified this as like, okay, now I need to be focused on crashing, then everything would have been a little bit cleaner. But now we see that, we can try it next time. We'll just move on from here. Where do we actually, whatever. And see, now it's so awkward. We lost a bunch of XP. We lost a bunch of gold. This wave position's so bad for us. We're forced to go back to spend our gold to teleport back in to hopefully get something done. If Hecarim's really awake here, he knows how bad this is for you, and he waits here, right? And it forces you to be low or to come back. Is there any reason you walk back lane here? What are you thinking?
I mean, I don't really know.
That's fair. Honestly, I don't think it's a terrible decision.
I think it's because she was like queuing the wave, so I don't know if I saw it, but I don't remember.
I mean, you see it on the minimap kind of, but I mean, ultimately, yeah, it works out. It's not a terrible decision either, because like if we know Hecarim is still going to be topside and we're worried about that, then TPing back up is just bad, because it gives him the opportunity to completely ruin your game. It feels bad to like lose the creeps here and not come back to it, but ultimately, like walking back to lane is probably the higher percentage thing here.
I think something that I know that I do too much in top lane because I'm new. I'm holding my TP because I'm always like thinking, oh, I can TP bot lane and do a move. So I'm not using my TP on my lane.
Yeah, that's fair.
Something that
Right, I would say like before, because 10 minutes is when TP changes over, so it's unleashed. Yeah. Before then, don't really focus, because otherwise, like your only option to TP bot lane is to their tower. So it's just so low percentage that you're going to be getting something out of that. So definitely, like before like 8-9 minutes, you totally feel free to just TP up here if you feel like it's worthwhile.
Yeah.
Oh, she spent so much money on buying more health potions. It's crazy.
Yeah, it was a bad. She bought a potion in
so I'd say,
Rolling Stone.
Yeah, right. It's weird. I'd say the biggest thing that I would right now is like as we're walking up to lane, I would just want to get this ward down, either in this little bush here or this bush here. Just because that enables us to like, because we're actually like we look at her items here, right? I like that you click on her to look at her items. But your items are actually just better than hers. Like you have a D shield, you're up a D shield when she has this moat, and then you have 2 longswords.
And a cookie.
You know, so it's like I think it's fine to wait till level 5 and get creepy on her, or you could even do it right away. But just having the ward down on either try because we have vision here, or just this bush alone. Because with Jax, it's like if you have 1 ward up, we can just ward hop out. So you're pretty immobile in that way. So just put 1 ward here, and then if we see Hecarim, we can always ward hop out. But that just enables us to more cleanly and safely like trade with her.
The thing is, I don't know my matchup really well, so I don't know if I'm like weaker than her or
So what I would
like I'm.
say is like if as you're learning Jax, just limit test constantly.
Yeah, yeah,
It's completely fine. Like it feels bad to lose games by like solo inting or whatever, but ultimately that's going to make you a better Jax player. You have to learn your
yeah,
limits, right? Ultimately, League at the end of the day, it's like you can't win games without fighting people. You need to learn how to
oh,
fight correctly. Think of it as a fighting game in that way. It's like we have to limit test our fighting ability and our champion strength. And the only way to really learn the limits of Jax is to push it. Doesn't
yeah.
mean doesn't mean be stupid about it, right? Like,
I
is
was
there
respecting a lot.
anything you see here that indicates to you like maybe I could take a trade?
I mean, she earlier her item.
Yeah,
Mm,
I like we have an item advantage for sure, and anything specific with her.
she's a Tarta warrior of life.
Yeah, that's also true. We have a HP advantage, but specifically what I'm getting at here is we just see her use her Q,
Oh yeah,
right? She just misses Q3 right here. This should be the biggest thing to me, saying, okay, I'm gonna Q auto W, start channeling E.
yeah. I was too focused on dodging her Q, but
Yeah, which we do nicely. It's perfect. It's like this is completely fine. Like, but now it's like we should punish
I
her.
can just E and
Yeah, E,
try
start
to.
channeling E, Q onto her, right? Or just you have like just play. You have so many options here. You have every ability up. You can even just do Q auto W and back off. You could continue it with E, right? It's just like we see her use her main damage ability. We know that we have an HP advantage. We like our items better. It's definitely just a little bit of a missed opportunity here.
Mhm.
And we've seen that a couple times now, right? Where we see her use her abilities and we kind of don't.
And she has bone plating, so
Yep. All right. Do you know when the level 6 timer is?
oh. Uh, it's a little awkward, I think, because it's like I don't even know what wave we are right now.
Fair enough. So it's not even about the waves. The main tell is it's the 530. Whoa, bro.
5:30.
Cannon
Okay.
wave. Cannon wave.
Okay.
So 540 cannon wave,
It's
right? So now it's a time where we're like, okay, I got that wave frozen on me, very awkward, very uncomfortable. I got pushed out of lane for a while, meaning you missed a lot of XP.
yeah, she's got a
But we should be aware that okay, she's getting 6 on this wave,
yeah,
so you need to just be respectful and careful in that way.
yeah. And I think I'm also playing that way because I know I'm weak sided, so I'm just avoiding getting too much poke.
Yeah, that's fair. I think again, like if we just had a ward down here, we're pretty free to get to engage with her.
Hmm.
Because it's like it's pretty hard for Hecarim to gank you because you can just Q
Yeah,
away or you can stun him before he even E's you. It's you can dodge his E damage with your E as well. It's quite hard for Hecarim to gank you.
yeah.
So as
And we
long
saw a
exactly,
Karen, but
even outside of that, as long as we have some vision down somewhere, we're pretty safe into their comp.
hmm
But ultimately, it's like we respect her on the bounce. We're holding this wave again. It's not bad. Definitely
yeah,
not
I think
bad.
I
We have 2 biscuits as well. I do think there's a lot of we see her use her Q again here.
you know
We're definitely just playing we're missing a lot of opportunities like trading opportunities, I
yeah I'm
think.
playing a little too passive, I think.
Yeah. Which it's like it's not terrible because we want to be getting gold and XP safely. But if we look at like 30 CS by 6 minutes is definitely a little awkward for what we want from Jax here. And again, a lot of that's just because we mismanaged that wave earlier.
Mhm.
Nice. We do win this fight quite nicely. I do think like if you don't want this play to happen, you need to be pinging it way sooner and with way more like veracity than just one single back ping, right?
Yeah, I
If
put missing
yeah, but
pings, but
we do like just one single missing ping and one single ping on Talon. It's like
yeah.
he's so like hot blooded and focused on what he's doing. That's not going to get through to him, right? We really got to be like, I do like 3 missing pings and then 3 danger pings here.
Alright.
And then we're really taking control of the situation. But this is just like when I see pings like this, it feels like we're just like checking off our checklist, right? Where we're like, well, I pinged, so it's not on me. But like, you got to take you got to take a stock of or control the situation. If all you want to do here is catch this wave, you got to ping like on my way, on my way, on my way, back ping, back ping, back ping.
But I'm not sure why Talon is there. Like what he's doing.
He's seen Riven overextended
Okay.
here. Like so, what
Yeah.
he's seen this. He got shoved on his wave.
Yeah.
He just wants to move, right?
But
It's,
Mastery is not there, so it's like I don't know.
yeah, it's not the most amazing realm. I definitely don't disagree, but you got to take control of the situation more. If what we want is to catch this wave, like so he's when he's pinging on his way here, we got to be like, I'm
Yeah,
on my
but the
way
wave
to
is crash, so
exactly. That's why you got to ping him off
yeah.
and say this is what I'm doing because he doesn't see this. He sees the opportunity to get a kill. You understand? No, like I got to do this, otherwise my lane's fucked. And I'm level 5, she's level 6. Like you have more information on what's actually happening up here. So you got to communicate to him like, no, get the fuck out of here. Go back to your lane.
Yeah.
But I think if we understood Riven's like ult damage here a little bit better, maybe we're EQ flashing here to stun, get the kill a little bit sooner. You know, like EQ flash ult W. But it's also just hindsight a little bit.
I got caught by
Yeah, we're not expecting her to roam as well.
yeah.
Which I understand why we're greeting our ult, but if we ult sooner, she just dies sooner, makes it easier. We don't have to waste flash. But ultimately, then we get these next 2 kills, and I like that we're not afraid to push forward, and we understand we can catch him with Q, so it's not bad.
I think he's playing Ghost, so
Yeah. Nice. It's good to hold TP again. The only thing here, just look at just want to be looking at Riven on this wave just to see what she's doing to it. Because if she does decide to just shove the wave as quickly as possible, we do need to TP to it.
yeah. But most of the time when I'm crashing the wave, I'm like I don't need a TP, but I don't know if it's right or
Yeah, no, totally. Like if we crash a wave, especially if it's stacked or if it's a cannon wave,
yeah.
we just want to start walking back to lane. Ideally, we're keeping TP up for sure. But if she decides to shove it quickly and it means we're gonna lose creeps under tower, we want to TP to it. Also, if we TP to it once we recognize they're shoving it, that allows us to walk up and hold it. So we can start a freeze or we can just guarantee good lane position.
Yeah. I don't know why Mastery got scared there. Could have finished the crabs. No.
Yeah,
No.
I mean, I don't disagree because you can always just walk straight there from
Yeah.
base. Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know. He just
A little strange, but what can you do?
yeah. I ping him to continue, but he didn't listen. So it's weird.
I do want to see. Again, I feel like we're just a little scared.
Yeah.
When it's like, I don't know. I don't think we have to be. Like, we saw her use Ignite. She doesn't have that much kill threat. We have Sheen Phage. I would love to see her items right now, but even then, it's like, I think you're just out trading her quite nicely. Nice. Ultimately, our team gets her. That's fine.
As soon as I saw them just EQ.
Yeah, like that's the beauty of Jax. Is like he's got great gank set up, and like When this Riven's just pushing like this and our team's ready to collapse, it's really nice.
I think I'm just too scared of trading.
Yeah, it seems that way. I feel like we're losing a lot of opportunity because we're not really.
I think it was the first time that I did matchups. So.
Yeah, it's a fun matchup, right? We just get in there and we fight. So definitely try not
Yeah.
to be scared, but I don't be afraid to lose, like solo lose games because we're trying to learn our limits. There's nothing wrong with that, right? People will flame you, but just mute their fucking ass. It doesn't matter. If our goal is to become a better player and a better top laner and a better Jax player, we gotta test our limits and push them. There's good awareness of you to come down to this, see what's happening. It's too bad if you just finished the grubs earlier, actually, we would have got a lot more value top lane, but
Yeah.
what can you do? That's just nitpicky.
I think I die there. I fuck a bit.
What do you think you could do differently here?
Nah, I think I should have canceled my TP faster when I saw the. But I think they had vision on.
Nah, micro in this
Because
more micro in the situation.
I mean they use everything, so
But somebody on our screen doesn't use most of his skills. So what we want to do, I think once we see Riven, we play it for the ward hop. That's completely fine. Once we see the Heck Room coming in, we have to be prepared to start our E.
maybe I could
So
have
right now, if we're
one mastery.
no,
No.
everything like your Q is fine. It's the fact that we don't use E and we don't use ult. If we start channeling E right now, a lot of their damage is getting negated. Because I don't believe. Let me double check this, but
Yeah, I don't know. Is the like E of Jax cancel the not cancel but
I can't say because so Hecarim's E is actually an auto attack. Let me.
okay, I didn't know that.
Yes, and then so this is. You also take 25 reduced damage from all area of effect
Mhm.
abilities. So that just.
Yeah.
But also, when we ult people, we're getting bonus armor and MR.
Yeah.
And that increases for how many champions we hit. So the two things I would have liked to see here, right, is just like,
and E.
yep. And even if like outside of the damage reduction from E, it's like if we can just stun them both and then Q out, it's just that much cleaner. Right. So if we had started, if we start E looking to stun them both, looking to dodge some damage. So we start E like right now.
Yeah, I totally see it.
Right, we might be able to just what we're going to be able to stun them both. Then you can ult to just increase our resistances. And then we Q out. And then it's much harder for them to actually follow up on you, and it's much harder for them to actually kill you. But I think we're just a little overwhelmed, like trying to, like, we see we're under threat, we're a little scared that they're coming. We're like, I need to get this ward hop off. I need to get this ward hop off.
Yeah, I didn't think about getting my ults.
Exactly. We're in, like, we can get high value E and a high value ult here. And so what I chalk this sort of mistake up to is champion mastery, right? Have you ever heard of the mental stack? Have you ever heard of that concept?
No.
Okay, so think of it like this. You have like 100% of your brain you can focus on anything at one given time. Ideally, we're putting all 100% towards our league game. But even within the context of our league game, there's certain things we have to be focusing on. Like, right, for instance, we have to think about our wave management. We have to think about our trading patterns. We have to think about where their jungle is. We have to think about like what the enemy champion's doing. So all these things are going to be taking up certain percentages of our like overall mental stack, right?
Yeah.
As we get better at our champion, the more experience we have, the more reps we get in, the more reference points we have developed for our champion, the lower toll all that stuff takes on our mental stack overall. Meaning there's more room freed up for us to think about other things that are happening in the game. And so, for instance, when we look at this situation, if we're so overwhelmed with the threat coming in and how do we escape it in terms of movement with our ward and our Q, like then it's hard for us to be thinking about our E and our R. But if we have 100 Jax games and ward hopping second nature, then your brain's freed up. You don't even have to think about how we're ward hopping. We're just pressing 4Q. And then we can also be thinking about, how do I stay safe from the threat that's coming in? How do I maximize my E and my ult? And so what I'm getting at here is that this is the sort of thing that will eventually, it's good to be looking at it, and it's good to be like seeing, okay, how could I have actually played this situation on a micro scale? But understand that this is the sort of thing that, as long as we continue to play Jax, continue to consistently be getting reps in on him, this is the sort of stuff that will become easier and that you'll be able to see more clearly in game.
Yeah. I think I was just overwhelming and
Exactly.
didn't think about.
Yeah.
I was impressed by the damage, I think. I was like, damn, they kill me there.
But I mean, we're on a nice spike. We're hitting Trinity Force at 7. Our CS leaves a little bit to be desired, but
yeah, it's a little bit bad, but
that's also, again, one of those things that will increase with Champion Mastery.
I don't miss a lot of minion. I think most of my missed minion is just by my wave management.
Yes.
Like my last hitting is not that bad.
Yeah, totally. It's just like, are you in position to be getting creeps or not, you know?
Yeah, I think that's.
And we'll go back to the beginning of this game and look at like what we could do to consistently develop higher level wave management. But let's just we'll just roll with things for now. So again, like when I like that we're slow pushing here. We're slow pushing with the intent to stack a wave, to crash it. The thing we need to be thinking about is, what wave do I want to be crashing it on? Meaning, like, how many waves do I want to be stacking before I crash? And so once the wave is coming in, like once our wave is actually stacked here, it's like, okay, do I want to hold this wave, slowly push again to have a third wave, or do I just want to crash right now? And we have to have that understanding before this wave comes in, so we can be efficient with our time, right?
Yeah.
And I think at this point, like, we have a cannon here, we have a big wave. Let's just get this crashed so we can
maybe get played.
Maybe get plates, or maybe move to get deep vision, or maybe move down to look at Ari. It's just like we want, the biggest issue with like slow pushing or freezing and keeping the wave constantly on your side is you're not threatening the map at all. We're not pressuring the map in any way. We're just being a passenger within the game, you know? So it's like, if we want to push here, we just need to push quickly. We need to push really fast so we're on the tower. And especially here, right, I think we want to be looking, like, we have grass backed up, we have a Trinity Force, Q auto W, Q auto W, Q auto W, right? We, especially since we have a stacked wave. If she's walking up like this, instantly just Q onto her.
And I can
auto W.
Make her miss the cannon.
Yeah. Or it's just more about like, this is a clear window where you're stronger than her.
Yeah.
So we want to punish her when we can. We haven't seen Hecarim. We don't have any vision, so that stuff sketches me out a little bit. But ultimately, it's like, if Hecarim comes fights you in the stacked wave, we have Trinity Force, we have ult, we have E, we have options. It could be all right. But
I think that's
a big thing we're seeing consistently is we're just scared to really engage with the Riven in any meaningful way.
And do I need to buy more pink ward, or?
I wouldn't say so. Pink wards have more value in Jax because we can ward hop to them. Yeah. But I would say, like, the thing with pink wards is it costs 75 gold. And then when the enemy gets them, they get 25 gold. So it's just 100 gold swing. For often vision, that's just not very useful.
That's something that I kept from ADC. I never bought pink.
Exactly. I would say never, literally never buy a pink ward before Trinity Force. Never. And unless it's like Eve or something that it's like a stealth jungler or something. Once we have Trinity and tier 2 boots, yeah, we can look to buy pink wards if we're really pushing up into their lane and we want deep vision. That's okay. Or if we're really pushing for like certain objectives, that's also okay. But even then, it's like, don't go crazy on them. And ultimately, if we're buying pink wards, think about them as really, it's like, it's to ward hop.
Yeah, I never bought them.
Yes, it's fine. Anything we see here?
I think I could QW
Why?
because she used Q tree on the wave.
Exactly.
I
Like, this is like the third or fourth time we've seen this exact pattern now. She's wasting her Q. She has no real damage. And we're just like letting her do what she wants. We're so scared of her when we have Trinity Force completed and she's still sitting on components. You know, like look at her health compared to ours. We're really, really scared. She E's at you and you're like, fuck. Just, we are terrified of this Riven.
Yeah, I don't limit this enough.
Yeah, we should just go for it, man. Like that's like Jax is a phenomenal trading champion. He can fight so well, and you have to learn what that feels like. And again, you're gonna lose some games doing this. You're gonna limit test, and you're gonna be 0-4, and it's gonna be like, fuck, this sucks. But the experience of developing your champion mastery in an actual non-passive way will pay way more dividends than just sitting back.
I don't know what he's doing.
He's desperate, bro. He's sad and he's desperate.
Yeah, I know what he was doing. Yeah, I think I was scared because I was like, at every moment, Kyurem could stay there and
Yeah, no,
so
totally. That is fair. And like we did, like you were saying, like we are weak side here. We are like Master Yi's playing the bot side. They're making plays happen. Ultimately,
as soon as I saw the Kyurem there, I just back off.
Yeah, totally.
Like I saw it instantly.
I like the intention here, trying to hold the wave. Something to keep in mind though is like as the game starts progressing into like the mid game, holding waves becomes less and less valuable because then we're just applying absolutely no pressure to their map at all. It gives Riven opportunities to move into like our map, and we're not really forcing them to do anything or make decisions. So yes, we're safe here and we're not really vulnerable and we can continue to scale up. But just keep in mind, as the game goes later, the less value there is inherently in holding waves.
Okay.
And the higher value there is, like, if we can be getting plates or just not even like we could just crash waves and then move. Crash waves, move to get vision, look to go gank, look to go to dragons.
I think I'm too focused on like getting the wave always on my side.
Yeah, and it's like that's not a bad thing. We definitely want the wave on our side, especially early on in the game. But when I'm seeing something like this, when I'm seeing a fight happening down here, and I'm seeing their jungler here, my instant instinct is shove this wave so I can start hitting their tower. Because now, or like we see Riven, we're sitting on 1,300 gold, so now it feels kind of bad. But even now, it's like we see everybody else. I'm down to just get dirty with her.
I think I did something there, but it was a little bit terrible. I don't know.
So in situations like this, when we have control of the wave, meaning that like we have easier access to be on it, and we see their champion walking in, what we want to do is auto attack the creep, any creeps twice. It could be the same one, it could be different ones, just to prep our ult passive, and then Q W. Right, because because then we're getting our ult proc off, we're getting our spell blade from Trinity Force, and our W damage very quickly. And if she wants to continue that trade, that'll instantly do that much damage. And then if she wants to go forward, we just press E, and then she's likely dead. And especially that's the same. Like you can do this even on level 2 as with grasp. It's the same concept. We want to prep grasp up, jump on them. So with all this stuff here, we just want to have grasp ready. We want to auto attack twice, so our ult is prepared, and then jump on her.
Okay.
Oops. Like, in no world should she be allowed to walk up to this wave and auto attack it. In no world should she be allowed to do this stuff. You should be punishing her. Nice flash, man. Very nice. But like, see how scuffed this whole situation was, and you still kill her. I mean, you had to outplay her. That was a beautiful flash. You were really prepared.
Yeah.
But
You knew
imagine,
she was about to.
imagine if we took initiative, and instead of her trading onto you first, getting a chunk out of your HP, we went the other way around. And with because with QW prepped like that, it would have been reversed. So just
Yeah, I'm just too scared
yes.
most of the time.
And then look what happens once we do decide. Like, look at the damage we're dealing. Once we do decide to like actually teach her a lesson here, it's like we're just very quickly just destroying her. And think about this too, right? That's with her being on her Eclipse with the cloth armor. If we go back to like right here, or let's see, right, we're still on our Trinity Force, and she's on, doesn't have a completed item and doesn't have a cloth armor. Imagine if we took this fight right now. You would just destroy her. All right. This is a little greedy, but I think it's fine because we saw everybody for the most part. I think Ari could have came straight up here and maybe killed us. I think the best thing to do is probably just reset right now, just because we're so low. As soon as we get the crash, guaranteed, we should probably just base. If we really want to be getting a plate, I think it's fine to just proc demolish here, Q out, go reset. I think playing for this wave is really greedy, and as you climb higher, like this will get punished for sure. But ultimately, get out is what it is. I think again we're pretty late with our E here. I think we should be at minimum Eing this Hecarim charge. The main thing is like, yeah, if you don't know that Hecarim charge can be dodged with E, obviously you're not super prepared for it. But even outside of that, it's like when there's two people standing on top of us within our E range, we should just be channeling E. We do get a 2-man ult, which I'm happy about. But again, I think right now we should just be channeling E and like standing here autoing one of them. Just start DPSing, get our passive working up, get our auto W, like our ult passive working. We're losing a lot of DPS here because we're kind of scared to be fighting. So that's the beauty of what E allows us to do, is just stand our ground and start smacking them. So if we're a little bit sooner with the E and we're doing that, we'd get some more damage off. The Riven would die a little bit sooner, or the Hecarim would make the ensuing fight cleaner. Yeah, this is all just a little awkward.
I couldn't really
Yeah, because
go
we,
on
yeah,
on
right.
Harry because she got ult and ult out. So
It's just because our E is so low value, right? We're not like it's very. We have a lot of opportunity here to get two-man stun, which is I think the big thing. And then we're also like not juicing the E value entirely because we're waiting so long with it. Or, I mean, we're not we're casting it a little bit sooner than we have to,
yeah,
but we're also waiting so long to cast it. Like I think if we just E here and we don't walk back and we just stand our ground and start, if we E ult, stand our ground, start fighting, I think that's our. We're going to be doing a ton of damage, and you could probably almost kill one of them by the time your buddies get here.
yeah.
And what I would do is probably, I mean, this is all just hindsight, right? But if we're going to stand our ground and fight right here, we can just be prepared if things get sketchy to queue over to our creeps to walk down.
No, I think I was scared also because the Ari was getting like faster than my teammates. So
Yeah, but we know that they're coming, and so we should be okay, I think. Definitely get why you're scared, but we should be okay. We're up 2 levels on both of them. We have tabbies. We have Trinity.
yeah,
We have a Ruby Crystal. We have all of our abilities. It's like we shouldn't be that scared in this situation. So I think get the tier 1 and then go straight to Herald. That's probably what we should do, right?
I ping, but my mastery didn't want to. So
I mean, you ping, you do, again, we do 1 ping and then we're just walking deeper into their jungle.
yeah,
I think if we ping multiple times and we're walking over here, they're going to come. It's just likely. You know, you're not making this likely with your posturing here because we're posturing to follow the Pike. So the Pike sees you with him walking in the same direction deeper into their jungle. Yi
yeah.
sees you guys over here and doing all this nonsense. So one single ping is not actually accomplishing anything. If you want this Herald to get done, which is the correct thing, walk over there, ping it multiple times, and start hitting it. I promise you they'll come.
Mhm.
It's just like this really inefficient with our time here, I think. It's fine to TP here. Reset TP back in just to help them out because they're in a dangerous spot. Completely fine.
I don't think I had to help them to
No,
get
I agree completely. Because we know Hecarim's dead. We see Ari and Jinx mid. We have mid pressure. We're completely fine. With Pike over there, it's completely fine. And I mean, ultimately, we're doing our job really nicely right here, right? We're we're pressuring this top side of the map.
Yeah.
So we're forcing Riven to come up here and answer it. And then Thresh is also feeling pressured by it, so he's forced to come and help the Riven. As soon as we see that we're pressured here, right, we're backing up. Pressured beyond what we could handle. If it was just the Riven, we're completely fine. But with the Thresh here as well, it's just sketchy.
Yeah.
But since we're drawing 2 people up here, it makes this fight equal man advantage in mid. It makes it so this mid fight's actually possible for us to go well.
Got that, so.
Yeah, but Pike for their 80 carry in jungle is certainly worth.
I was feeling confident to stay there because the Riven can't really kill me.
No, 100%. And if, you will always win the 1v1 at this point. It only gets worse for Riven. She has to be very ahead of you to make it work. I would say, I mean, I definitely get why we're killing Krugs here. It definitely makes sense.
Yeah.
I think it's fine. I was thinking the only other thing I was thinking is like I would like to get a demolished proc off from the tower and then come do this. But so when we're pressuring side lanes like this, what's good to do on the map is draw like an imaginary line from yourself through all of your other teammates, right? So in this case, it would be like this,
Mm.
and this will give us an idea of what the pressure on the map looks like, especially to the other team. So say we're on this tier 2 right now, it would be like this, right? Meaning that like we're obviously the thing that's far and away the most.
I think if I show out on the tower, they would just go all on me. So
Exactly. That's what I'm trying to show you here with this is that that's
mm,
how you can decipher that if it's not always clear to you. Is like, okay, if my team, especially that we see them backing, so we'll know it's going to be like this in just a second.
mhm.
They have one clear option of what to be doing. So we don't want to be like pushing pressure when that's the case. So that's like I think you're completely correct in just getting these Krugs here. Because obviously we're counter jungle. Like that's the other thing we can do when we have pressure like this is just take their creeps.
Yeah.
But Jax ultimately, like, he's one of the best side laners in the game. He pushes towers incredibly quick. There's very few champions that can 1v1 him if he's scaled well. So we want to keep pushing this side lane like this. We want to keep doing exactly what we're doing, catching waves, forcing them to answer them under tower, or come to answer us on their tower. And if they do come, we can still punish them by taking jungle camps. I think here we're just like we're hesitating a little bit on what we want to be doing. If we know like okay, I want to continue to pressure this top side, we'd be able to get a little bit of damage down on the tower, which you only need like 2 or 3 times of access to the tower to kill it with demolish, with Trinity Force, with your W. Oops. Especially because now like after we catch this wave, now that we see we have people back out on the map, we have this dragon spawning soon. So whenever we're looking to side lane, we do want to be side laning cross map to the objective that's happening. Because then if they come to answer you on this tower, it takes the longest amount of time for them to get to dragon, meaning it's easier for your team to get it.
I think that's why I didn't back, just because I knew it wasn't
Totally.
really worth it because I couldn't buy an item, so just stay
Exactly.
there. And I was full life, full everything, so
Yeah, exactly. And that's why it's like I'm saying you're hesitating here because we start backing, then we realize that. If we realize that right now, we're up with the wave, meaning that we can actually get access to the tower, get some damage down. It seems nitpicky, but like that's the difference between getting this tower or not. I mean, I'm glad to see you finally fight her.
yeah.
I do think
I think
like if we ult a little bit sooner, if we just ult right away, I think because ult reduces our W cooldown as well, right? Meaning that we'd get 1 or 2 more Ws off, not to mention the ult damage, she would die. I think as soon as we see her ult in this position, this should be like, we're absolutely ulting here. Just to reduce the damage she's dealing, to increase our damage to her.
Mm-hmm.
But, you know, we still force her out of lane, it's still fine. And
Forcing.
yeah, and we're pushing the tower here, so perfect. Ultimately, we're doing the right things here. Nice. Oh, this so when we're running grasp, I guess we took inspiration as our secondary, but when we're running grasp, we should probably be going sorcery and getting mana flow band. Some Jaxes really like Scorch mana flow band, some Jaxes like Transcendence mana flow band. I think Transcendence mana flow band is a little bit better for what Jax wants. But then that's how we're avoiding this situation, right? 'Cause we do use a lot of spells, and now we're out of mana. Makes it awkward. You know, and with the nerf to biscuits giving only HP, I don't really think they're worthwhile to take. I would just recommend if we're running grass, we should be taking Mana Flow Band.
I think it's still played a lot, but I don't know.
I just don't. I think like you'll take it in situations where you're into really poke heavy champions where you really need the biscuit sustain. Otherwise, I just
I just overstayed a little bit.
Yeah, going for this wave with no mana is insanely greedy, especially like when we look at where our team is and what they're doing.
Yeah.
And even you can make an argument taking this fight's pretty greedy just because we have no mana. And we're sitting on 2.3k gold. But you know, it is what it is.
Sometimes it's happening.
Right? Sometimes it just fucking happens.
Doesn't have any damage.
None at all.
Didn't even flash. I was confident.
Beautiful, bro. But very nice.
Yeah, and I think that's the
Yeah, I like this TP. It's creative for sure. You know they're pushed out on the map. We see Riven. We know that they're threshing the Hecarimur out. Jinx is dead. You can almost definitely get this tower.
I think
your other option is just to like be walking down here to fight cross map to the objective. I think these, but this is definitely by no means a bad play. All right, so let's take a look at. So when we're playing top lane, our first 4 waves are so important, right? Because if we remember, like the Yi dies over here because Riven gets this crash and has time to move out and to reset to get back onto lane. So how do we avoid that from happening, right? Well, it all starts on the first wave. It all starts in how we're playing wave 1. I guess we start like, yeah. You trim the VOD nicely. So again, on level 1, I would like us to be in this bush or at least like this bush. But again, just because like we know with our E, there's very few champions who can actually fight us. There's very, very few champions who can contest us in that case.
I think before the game was starting, I was just looking on Google to find a matchup. So that's why I was in this bush. I was just sitting there and watching on Google like Jax versus Riven.
Yeah, fair enough, my friend. Fair enough. But so something I always try to like tell people is, so this is Jax specific, like doing this bush thing with our E is Jax specific, right? Because we can punish them so well. With outside of that, what we want to be doing on wave 1 is guaranteeing that we're going to hit level 2 first. And we do that by getting ahead in creep damage. Yeah. Because as we see, like eventually Riven uses her Q on the wave. Her next Q here on the wave. And we don't punish her. Yeah. Let's just see when it happens.
Yeah, I see it
so,
now.
So we don't punish her, but exactly. We have an opportunity to punish her for doing that. We don't take it. But outside of that, so just forget that. What her using her Q on the wave here does means that she gets push control. She gets control of the lane. Because now, right, you have all these creeps left over from wave 1 to kill, and she only has 1. And so now all she has to do is kill 1 melee creep, and she's going to hit level 2. Meaning she can take a good trade onto you and just continue her control of the wave. Control of the lane. So what we want to do is, and this is what I mean by like, now she has a creep health advantage, right? Because now you have to deal more damage to her wave than she has to deal to yours to get level 2 and to keep pushing the wave. So now what that means is we want to come back to level 1 here. Outside of the trading, forget the trading for a second. We're just thinking about wave management. What we want to be getting here is we want to guarantee we have a creep health advantage so that we can hit level 2 first and so that we can get the shove. And that would change the entire outcome of this game. Obviously, the outcome of the game is fine, but forget that and think about like, this is the difference between like taking control of a game and then being a passenger in the game is what is happening on these first 4 waves. And it starts on wave 1, right? Because wave 1 leads into wave 2, which is level 2, which, like, if you hit level 2 first and you can jump on someone, stun them, get a nice trade-off, that means you can get level 3 first. That means you can get the crash. If we get the crash, we're getting our reset off first, meaning that we're there to help the Yi. And Riven's stuck answering. Makes everything different.
Mm. Yeah.
And even here, right? Like we see her use her Qs again. So like we know we just need 1 creep to get level 2. What you can do is walk up, E, kill this creep, and then fight her. Because she's gonna have to respect your stun. And if she doesn't, you can just level up W, stun her, auto W. It's like, that's a fine trade. And then we're holding the wave nice again.
Mm.
And what ends up happening, right? We do hold the wave there, but she still gets the crash off on wave 3. And now this allows her to reset. So now she can just get out of lane, get out of the bad position, and come back into here. Does this make sense? Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, so just...
Yeah, I think I'm just...
It's just like what we're seeing is like you're not confident on Jax. We don't understand his limits. We don't really understand what we want to be doing. We're not entirely sure of like... You have some fundamentals, you have some like ideas of wave management, but we're not really exactly confident on what we're doing to execute them and to get out of them. But it's like that stuff will take time, and now that you can see it, like it'll be easier to try and execute it. You're still gonna mess it up, but that's completely fine, right? You just gotta get the experience of it.
Yeah.
And the other thing like that we saw a couple times, right, is so we know she's not in lane, so we're gonna slow push. But when we decide to slow push, we have to have intention of like, I'm slow pushing to get my reset off. When's my best time to reset? And this is a very beautiful example of it, right? We know like this is wave 4, meaning that like this last wave 3 here was the cannon wave. So we know that wave 6 will be the next cannon wave. We want to reset as wave 6 is spawning. That'll give us the most time to walk back without missing anything. So what
cannon wave is every 3rd wave?
Yep, every 3rd wave. 3, 6, 9, 12.
Okay, and after it's every 2nd?
I'm sorry. Actually, I don't know exactly when it turns every 2nd, but by the time it does, resetting like that isn't as crucial.
Okay.
But the main point here is like, okay, so we know that the wave before this had the cannon wave. So we know this is wave 1. Then now wave 2. So now the next wave that spawns is the cannon wave, meaning we want to shove this next wave as quickly as possible to get a clean reset.
That's something I don't think about when I'm playing.
Yeah, that'll be the next step of our wave management, right? Because we manage the waves to get something out of it, right? In this case, it's to get a clean reset. Sometimes we're freezing or holding a wave so we can maintain safe lane position, or like certain champions really like having a long lane to run someone down and continue to auto attack them to deal damage, right? So you need to develop a certain lane position to enable your champion identity. But we're always... Jax is one of those champions. Jax is... That's what's great about Jax is strong in short trades. Jax is strong in extended trades. So it's like he's very versatile in that sense.
Team fights in split push.
Yeah. I would say that he's definitely strong in team fights, but he's definitely prefers 1v1s or like 2v2s. He's not like a Fiora who's just useless in team fights. He can definitely get work done, but it's not... I would say avoid playing for team fights unless you feel like you have to, or your team fight, like your 5v5 is really strong.
Yeah, I think also depending on the enemy team's comps. Like sometimes when they have IC, like even CCs, it's harder.
Exactly, right? If it's hard for you to team fight, why go and do that when we're just so strong in the side lane?
Oh.
But we see now, right? Like, okay, since Riven did get that crash, she's fine playing the bounce out. This gives her time to come back to lane with an item advantage, even though she got a terrible item. But now she can like still go and play here. Whereas if we were the one with the crash, just imagine this wave position was reversed. Her waves stack sitting right here, pushing into you. She can't help the Yi. I mean, the Hecarim, and you can help the Yi. Just it's a different game, right?
Yeah.
And we see how that all stems from her getting this creep health advantage right here, because she gets level 2 first. Meaning we have to respect it. Meaning that she is very much more likely to get the crash. So I would say the things I want you to do the most is to focus on from like here on out is one, the highest priority is just play more Jax.
Out of 12 games.
Yeah, exactly. That's nothing. That's absolutely nothing. I want to, if we can, I would love to see that, like, just continue that, get to like 50, 60, 70 Jax games. That would be awesome. You know, and continue to do just as much Jax as we can stomach. It's completely fine to do 2 Jax games to 1 Aatrox game. That's completely fine. If you want to just if you think you can stomach one tricking Jax for a while, that would be ideal. But a lot of people just lose their minds doing that. So it's completely fine to do something like this. Just to
sometimes some matchup is like horrible.
Yeah, exactly. It's a game where you're just like, I do not want to play Jax into this game. Just feel free to play Aatrox. Nothing wrong with that. Like this, as long as we're doing 2 Jax games to every 1 Aatrox game, that's completely fine.
All right.
And then the second main thing I want you to focus on is just test your limits. If you're ever like, I don't know how this matchup is, I don't know what I can do in this game, or like I don't like maybe I could kill them, like I might die, just go for it. Just fight them. That'll be the best way to learn. Yeah. And then you can go into the game afterwards and be like, well, what happened? That felt really wrong. Or like, what did I like? Why did that go so poorly? Or you might just find like, holy shit, like I'm way stronger on Jax than I thought I was. I can get way more done than I thought I could.
I think the problem is I'm never behind, but I'm never like ahead. So
exactly. And from what we saw in this game, and like from what I saw from the Riven, what I saw from you, it's like I feel like you would have destroyed her if you actually just tried to fight. I feel like you were way better than this person, but you just didn't give yourself the chance because we never really took opportunities to get ahead to snowball. So I like those are the two these are the 2 things I really like, your 2 learning objectives I really want you to just take away from this session. If nothing else, is just play more Jax, get more games in, get those reps up. That'll help with like the stuff like the fight we saw over here. That'll just help with everything. You'll have more reference points. That'll give you the ability to be like, I've played this Riven matchup 4 times. I know what I need to do. But to enable that correctly, to make sure we're actually getting value out of playing these Jax games, we got to test our limits, right? That's the only way we're actually going to learn, is to test our limits. Don't stress. Go ahead.
It makes sense. Like, really.
Yeah, right. It's like we don't need to yeah, exactly. You get it. I guess a third like extra credit thing is watch some high elo Jax players. And that'll give you an idea of what you can get done. And for instance, we'll go right away into this.
Team play.
I don't love watching this guy because he's just he can be a baby a lot of the times.
Yeah, I'm watching like sometimes I'm like on YouTube I'm typing my matchups. I'm like Jax versus like a champion. And I'm like, most of the time I'm on these channels.
Yeah, no, he's undeniably amazing at Jax, and he undeniably plays him extremely well, right? But let's just like watch. We'll go through this real quick. Let's watch what he does, right? He's sitting in this bush waiting for his enemy laner to walk up to hit the creeps, because he knows instinctively how strong his champion is on level 1. And this is even a pretty like cancer matchup, like this Cassio, but he's just zoning. Like his goal right now is he's trying to zone her off the creep EXP, because that guarantees everything else in lane. But look how far up he's playing compared to how we played our whole game.
Yeah.
And so now he knows, like, okay, he got a strong trade-off. I'm going to hit level 2 first, and now I can just jump on her. And he gets flashed by 230.
I think there's also a little skill diff.
Yeah, 100%, but like he's only developing the skill because he's played so many Jax games, but also because he's willing to push it. But also, like, this is a high elo like Cassiopeia player. This is not a
Yeah.
bad player by any means.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure. I'm in bronze. It's not the same thing.
And what's happening here is something you can completely recreate, right? The reason he's getting this Q off on this Cassio is because Cassio is feeling pressured to get this creep. So he understands he can punish her because Cassio wants to stay in XP range on this creep here. And that's the range he's playing off of. And I mean, it's not that fucking hard, right? She's level 1, he's level 2. He just jumps and counter strikes. It's nothing like, this is nothing that insane.
That's not flashy.
Yeah, but he's just willing to do it. He's willing to get in there and get creepy.
No.
So overall, I feel like we've like set out a clear path for you, right? Most importantly, play games. Second most importantly, limit test our champion. And third, when we're willing to, just get some inspiration. Watch high elo Jax players. Watch good Jax players. See how they're getting value out of the champion. See what they're doing to make things work.
I also watch Alois, I think.
Oh yeah, he's a phenomenal player, and also he's the opposite of TF Blade in the sense that he's got amazing value out of watching like him, his mindset, and his approach to the game. Alois
I watched his unranked Duo Master on Jax. It's actually good.
Yeah, that's phenomenal. Exactly, that's phenomenal.
No.
All right, man. Any other questions for me?
No.
All right, big dog. Well, definitely, I'm completely open whenever. If you have any questions or anything that you think of later, or just anything you're confused about, feel free to message me, hit me up whenever. It's completely open. And in about like, if you can once you get like 20 more Jax games in, or in a couple of weeks, if you want to get another session done, just feel free to hit me up, and I'm totally open.
And it's free.
Yes, sir.
All
Yeah,
right.
just happy to help.
Thank you.
Of course, my friend. Have a good rest of your night.
Me too.
Thank you.